Good morning, people of the press. Please sit down. We can talk a little bit about that shitfest last Sunday, and then we'll talk about the Dallas shitfest coming up this Sunday. So, here are my thoughts about last Sunday. That fucking game seemed like the 18th game of last season. Like we made zero improvements or changes. We seamlessly went from playing like shit last year into playing the exact same way this year. Schoen is a master gaslighter because he will tell you he made changes, but we can see with our own eyes, nothing changed. I don't want Dot to play at all, but I also thought we would be a better team. Do we see if Winston has any magic left, or do we throw Dart to the same dogs we threw Jones to in the last few years? You know those dogs. They don't pass block. They don't run block. They can't establish the running game. The passes are all 3-yard dinks and dunks that gain anywhere from 4 yards to -2 yards. These dogs piss and shit in your house and rip up your furniture and hump any leg they can rub their little red peckers on. We need to train our dogs once and for all. Prevent that. I thought the defense was going to save us this year. Carter is spying on Daniels last week. When did LT ever spy? Carter needs to be free to create havoc and pocket destruction and blow up plays. Having Carter spying is like making Wilt Chamberlain play point guard for 8 minutes a game. Don't waste Carter's talents! Dable and Kafka are to offense game plans what piss is to cereal. Anywho, we punted and kicked well, and Chef for the Future didn't muff any punts. Okay, we do have an injury report. Maybe the guys who are replacing these guys can play better this week. Mark Bavaro suffered a Cleveland steamer, and we put him through a car wash to get him clean. Harry Carson has an angry balloon knot leak, and he won't play until his asshole stops dripping and cursing. Emlyn Tunnel has a mush mouse and a pumpkin puss, so we are monitoring him closely, but from another room. Jason Sehorn strained his hamstring while performing a Monroe transfer, which then infected his tube steak. Jumbo Elliott has a mushy biscuit, so we are keeping his poop chute well buttered until his taint yeast rises. Spider Lockhart has a high testicle sprain that is so high it's in his throat, which is now sore, and his breath smells like raw oysters. And Rosie Greer has an inflamed coctopus, which keeps reaching out from his pants and tapping people on the shoulder, so when they turn around, no one is there. Look, this is really starting to feel like Groundhog Day here. Year after year, nothing fucking changes. Except in Groundhog Day, Bill Murray eventually learned skills and talent and knowledge. We don't learn anything in our Groundhog Day. We just live the same fucking horrible game over and over and over again, and nothing gets better. As you all know, Daniel Jones had a historical game last week. He was the quarterback for the only game this century where a team scored on every offensive possession. Good for you, Daniel. You are a good man. Let me remind you feeble-minded short stains that the preseason means nothing. I have to say this every year because you, the press, and half the fan base still thinks having high school players lining up against dock workers in the fourth quarter of an August game means something. It does not, you stupid fucking pecker snouts. Print that too. This week we go to Dallas, the land of the Cowboys, where men are men and the cattle know it. We don't have to worry about Micah Parsons any longer because the Crypt Keeper owner of the Cowboys let him go to the Fudge Packers. In this decade of the 2020s, the Cowboys are 9-1 against us. However, all time we are 48-46 with 2 ties against them. So fuck them. Landry, Starbuck, Bob Lilly, Bullet Bob Hayes, and Jerry Jones right in their dirty fucking necks. Maybe last week was an anomaly, and I don't even know what the fuck an anomaly is. Maybe last week was just a jittery start to the season. If we beat Dallas, we go to 1-1, and that makes everything better. So that is what we will do. I need to go now. I will see you Sunday. Let's go, Giants!